The one historical game I've been playing on and off for a few months now, waiting on every little update they offer. Memoriapolis is back, and it's time for me to sink my teeth into the new update where factions have had a huge overhaul. I can't wait to see what we can do now. Let's get stuck straight in and build a beautiful, historical city. Well, hello everyone and welcome back on in to Memoriapolis. I always struggled to say that on the previous one. Now, since we last played it on the channel, there's been a couple of long playthroughs. There has been a few updates and mainly to huge overhauls of how the factions work. I wanted to do a little mini series of this and get going. So, let's get stuck in. We're going to do classic mode as well, not endless. We're going to play it as it's intended. And we're going to have to pick our destiny. But before we mention this, there is a huge update coming to this with the third age very, very soon. So I wanted to showcase it once again. So I'm just going to hammer this one out. Probably only be about 5 episodes. I have no idea. It depends on how long it takes us. But the next step, if you haven't played this already, we'll need to choose what our starting destiny will be. And I'm just going to chill out and play it in a way that I fancy. So I haven't played since last time. So there's a little bit to pick up. But each different destiny has certain traits, and you can develop those traits to a tier 2 and tier 3 ones as you go along anyway. So each one has specifics. Honestly, I'm going to go with craftsman. The reason I'm going to do that, natural resources are plus 25% more abundant. I find that really, really useful early on. And there we go. As always, we've made ourselves a coat of arms. We are Lord Lemon of Labacum. We are keeping Lord Lemon running in this game as well. I actually think I want to change that. That. I just love black and red together. Let's get stuck in. All right, here we go. So here is the map. If you haven't played this, it does run you through the type of tutorial. I don't know what's in this most recent update, so we'll be going through that. There's a few recommended places, one being the riverside here, which we've played from before. We've also played from this zone over here, and I built down into this zone in the endless mode. If you haven't seen that one, go check it out. I think I've built up there as well. I've done them all. Might try over here. This is a pretty cool spot. So you got to pick where you want your ancient camp to go. Now, the roads and stuff have changed now, so you can build on top of them, which was one of the best changes they've done, in my opinion. This, honestly, we've built here anyway, actually. Let's pick somewhere else. I'm going to place here. The start of Antiquity. Veneritis Bene. Your family has made this fertile and welcome land its own, free to decide your own destiny. This is the beginning of your dynasty. Starting with a simple camp, you have to develop an autonomous city that harvests its own resources. Okay. Now, we are going to pause it because there's a few things you need to consider. And if you haven't seen this already, I'll just talk you through some of them. But we will need to get basic stone, basic wood. And you'll see all these guys move around. The starting area we have should be pretty good for that. Let's come on out and I can talk you through it. So you start off with 500 food, a bit of wood, a bit of stone. And yes, each resource you'll need to gather. If you hover over them, it does show you where you can get them from, as always, and we'll need to build a farm and stuff. I'm just going to close all of that. Let's go straight into the production, and we'll start with a few of these. So the quarry, as you move it around, it will show you where's good, but you will need to be green to be able to build it. And honestly, I think, and as they upgrade, it goes wider as well, so you want to pick an area that's going to be relatively wide. Now that's going to be our, looks like, iron or clay. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go as far over as I can that it will allow. I think for now that's going to be the best we're going to get. So we will build that and we'll choose stone as the resource. We'll also get ourselves a cutting camp. And honestly, I'm going to cut away where I want my town to kind of build out from as well. And over here is good. So I'm going to have industry kind of happening, hopefully over this way to start. There's 4,000 wood there, so I'm just going to place that one there as well. And then, last but not least, we're going to go ahead and get a little bit of farmland in. And I'm going to go as far out from my starting zone as I can. And I think I'm going to place it here. Now, you can choose how many you get. So it'll build a certain amount of farms, and it'll use a certain amount of workers. Now, I'm going to go for the max. So we'll have 12 farms, and it should build out around this one. So that's the first 3 basic resources set up. Clay will come in a moment anyway. And then the other one is to build a thingy here. So it wants the prerequisites to be able to upgrade the ancient camp. So if we just pull that one up, we need 106 wood, 44 stone, and 90 population. The population will grow as we start. So we're in a position we're not going to build... maybe I do get a surveyor's cabin. We could grab stone from over here. Surveyor's cabin allows you to build further out from your starting zone. So maybe we'll get one over here if we want to go into more stone this way. Yeah, that's good. We'll build one there. And then we'll hit play. And what will happen is each cycle, as you can see down here, your first one, you have a certain amount of cycles you need. The houses coming in. Until you get to the new age. So 1,250 cycles is the start of the first age. So I'm going to play through and take our time. There we go. You slowly see it's really cool because the housings and factions will start to come here. And you'll see each district, so each one of these is its own district, can have specific cultures. So you build your cultural buildings in anticipation with how you want these to grow. I've got a good grasp on some of it, but as always, if you have played yourself, put the tips in. It's always helpful for everyone that watches as well. And you'll see our last farm is coming in. So they're building out food now to make sure we've got food income. That also helps with our storage. So starting out, we're going to have these guys here. And then down on the bottom left, you'll see there's this building tree and the cultural radiance. So the building tree is where we go to unlock certain things with our blueprint points. And mainly we're going to want to be producing more wood and stone where possible. And I know it wants us to do things here. And you start with 2,500 blueprints as shown at the top. And you can build a building to produce those as well. Construction cost for the upgraded quarry is 200 wood, and then for the upgraded wood is 200 stone, which increases your stock, by the way, as well. So you want to make sure you are upgrading these. We'll get into the culture ones when it allows us, and then you've got the service buildings and the wonders. Obviously chapters based on when we unlock them. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock the cutting camp, the small quarry, oh, misclick, and the small farm. So that is... leaves us with 1,000 blueprints remaining, and then we'll just wait until we've got enough to actually get them in. And you've got to wait for a certain amount of workers to come in before you can upgrade as well. And you'll notice we also have gold. There is trade, and we'll unlock that very soon. I still really like this game, and there's a lot to go in. I'll just show you what that one is. So if you press tab, you'll have these different filters on the top. So at the moment, we can only see resources. And then from here, you can select wood, which is green now, stone, sand, clay, gold, and iron. So we've got a really good iron patch here. We're actually building on top of gold and iron here, which is a bit annoying, but that's fine. We've got plenty elsewhere anyway. So based on what we can see here, we need to decide where we're going to build. I don't want my land to go on here then. So that iron is really good. We probably, let's check sand as you select them. So sand, we're going to have to go down to the beach at some point. So I think building towards this is a good shout, so we can grab that bit specifically. But yeah, that's where that one is. The other side is your overlapping zones here. All of that will make sense as you play. I've only got about 15 hours in the game, so there's not too much to it. But for the first little bit, we're going to be spending some time just trying to fix this. And in order to move on, we're going to need these resources here. I'm not going to improve first. I don't know if we need the town. Yeah, I'm going to get these upgraded first before we upgrade our ancient camp, because you want to try and get as many wonders as you can before you end up going into the new age. And now we're in a surplus of food as well now, which is good. Our biggest problem is these districts here are going to be in radius of these having bad disturbance, which will make them not happy. Actually, I'll be honest, I think we'll go for the ancient camp upgrade first. We just need 90 population, and they will slowly come in as the cycles go on. Let's preemptively just do the right thing and start cutting through some of this wood here. I'm going to place this as far in as I can, just to start bringing that down. Do I want to go there, actually? We've got to think of the culture. The disturbance. Let's go over here. Now, we can cut into all this. Let's get that going as a second one. And then, if I can get another quarry in just over this side, and I'll move this as far as I can this way, because we'll be able to mine the iron as well. Let me just press 6 so we see the resources. So as long as we don't build into the mountain, we should be fine. Let's go ahead and put it over here. And we'll say stone once again as well. What I love about this game is it kind of combines a few different features of plenty of others, and it is pretty damn fun. And as it starts to grow, it really does start to look cool. Alright, we are now at the point we can improve our ancient camp to level 2. Let's go ahead and do that. So that is 10 turns away. I'll allow that one to finish, and then as we build up, I should be able to hit the improvements on these. And I'm going to do something here. I'm going to move this cutting camp out this way. So I'm going to go ahead and build over there. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. The only reason I'm going to do that is based on what we have here. And I'm going to just allow that one to demolish. It costs 6 of our thingies there. And I won't... You can speed it up. I'll keep this small quarry for now. That one's not going to move. But I just want to remove the disturbance on these as the houses build in. And here we go. You now have access to cultural buildings for finishing chapter 1. Architectural office and all of these now on the side come up. Now, I'll just pause and I'll talk you through them. It's going to do it anyway, but I'll bin it off. We have these 5 different thingies that you need to keep an eye on. And as they... If you are basically not satisfying your citizens, you get a negative debuff based on these. So you see this one, health, for example. We keep 15% more food and construction times reduced by 20% by keeping them happy. The safety means we got less instant chance and we get more population in quicker. Belonging means we don't lose trust in factions and tax income from the factions is increased by 20%. Decree duration and production is increased by 15% for esteem. And then the last but not least, creativity means we get more blueprints and the generation of culture points is increased as well. And culture points are part of the game that we want to do. So, if we have a look here, a surprising land. Some citizens came to wake you up early this morning. It seems that ancient ruins have been discovered at the edge of your security area. You can rebuild these, but you don't have a clue what they're going to be until you rebuild them. Or you could demolish them. Demolish them will give you resources. And honestly, right now, I'm going to demolish this because I don't know what it's going to be. Some will be unique, though. So you've got to pick quite wisely. This one itself is going to give us quite a bit of clay, and that one's going to cost a bit more. So I'll leave that one for now, and we'll continue on. But I do definitely want to get these done when we've got enough workers, the upgrades. All right, so we now have different things we need to build. We have the architectural one, which is free, that we need to unlock, and that helps us generate blueprints, 14 per cycle. And we've also unlocked the cultural building. So each of these have different things they do. So each one will have specific satisfactions that they meet the needs of. They also require worker maintenance and they increase attractiveness around an area. So you kind of need to pick what you want to go into first. And obviously this then dictates the type of factions that are going to move in. Now I'm going to stick to my one to start and we are going to get the ceramic workshop in. But first we're going to get the architectural office and we need to decide where we want this one to be. And because we have disturbance from this quarry, I am going to build this over here wherever I can. Oh, no. I reckon I can get it there, which is fine. And then they should build the roads around it. And then if I need to, I can get another quarry in here. That's my thinking. And there we go. Our blueprint building is here. So that is producing 16 blueprints per cycle because we have the creativity in a surplus. So they're getting an extra 15%. So rather than a 14, we're getting 16, which means we'll be able to afford more buildings. So keeping that up is going to be pretty crucial, actually. And that's part of the balancing you will need to do. So we need 20 workers to be able to build the ceramic workshop as well. And you'll notice I'm not bothered about upgrading these yet, even though it's going to allow us. It's because you can't actually store more than it allows. So as soon as we hit that 600, it will be capped. So we need to save just to get this cultural building. We need 2 more. I'm going to speed it up a second. Pause it. Get the ceramic workshop going. Now this will then, as you see, if I go nearby, will determine what factions people are in. And we can dictate that based on where we build it. So we can segment it out so we have different ones. And I'm thinking, honestly, the first one over here. And that'll fit those 2 right there. So we'll build it in this point. And then we'll need to pick which ones we get. So it starts with health. So that'll be an increase in that one. Honestly, I think early on, we want to get safety. Which one's the... Yeah, safety. Let's go for that. Because we want the migration to keep happening so we can push forward a little bit quicker. I'm going to go ahead and hit another surveyor cabin and just slowly work towards getting the sand as well. I'll go as far as I can, which is there. And then we'll also go for another one once that's built, at least. And then we'll be able to start collecting sand. I should be able to get about here, which means we will be good on that one. We have 862 blueprints, so let's pick a second cultural building, which will determine what we want to do. I might stay away from political, if I'm honest. Commercial's always a good one, because you can buy the resources in, so I'm going to go for Via Adificium. Via Adificium. Adificium, I don't know. Tell me if I'm saying it wrong. This is 21 workers, but we'll definitely go for that. And I think I'll build it towards this way. Unfortunately, our farms are not in an ideal place. All right, we've hit chapter 3 as well. So Hurrium, Mycelium, and Munimentum. The Hurrium offers numerous reserve slots and allows the city's various production builders to be managed more efficiently. The Mycelium allows trade routes, and the Munimentum allows ramparts to build in your city. Cool. We'll get all of those built momentarily as well. I'm just going to pause it, and we are going to check, because they found yet another ruin. I'm going to do the sensible thing and just demolish it out for a second. And I believe if we improve one of these momentarily, we do get extra stock increase. So it goes from 125 to 188 as well. And there you go. We also have unlocked the statue of the founders. We need to create 4 cultural districts, regardless of culture. We're going to have, obviously, 2 from this one. So we'll start to have those coming in anyway. There you go. We have a district culture of production over here. And then the Via Edificium is going to go up this way, I think. So I just need to get in the people that can do that. And if I come into the service buildings, here's the one it's talking about. So the Horium will need to unlock these anyway. So that means I'll have better storage. Basically a marketplace. And then Monumentum is for the walls. Walls help quite a lot in making you feel safe as well. And chapter 4 rewards, you now have access to production buildings, stonemason and carpentry. So we can cut stone and cut wood. And we need to look at what the ancient camp upgrade cost is, which is wooden beams. Now, before we go any further, though, I just need more population. All right, it's time for that surveyor cabin. And look, I can build it all the way over here. That should mean we can get the sand when we need it as well. And then as far as production buildings go, these are the ones we were talking about. I need to go ahead and unlock them once we get blueprints in. So we'll have carpentry, which we've got enough for, and then we'll have stonemason. We'll need them at some point, but I'm not going to grab them yet because I actually want to continue building out first. And we're going to start that straight away with sand. Look at the amount we can get from this bad boy over here. So let's rotate it. We can flip it to clay afterwards too, which is great. So if we come here, there's 12,000. Boom. And we're going to say sand. We'll start getting that in. Now you see down here, we're not actually getting any of these benefits anymore. So no extra effects. So we're back to normal rating. The only 2 we are getting is minus food and city migration. So I'm fine with that. And if we go around here, look, all of the buildings now, they're starting to develop districts around this ceramic workshop. And they'll then become part of that district as well. You can have a maximum of 2 cultures per, but they do argue. And you no longer get a whole bunch of families in like before. So you used to get like all of the families or options too. Now let's go into photo mode so you guys can have a little bit of a look. I'm hoping in future updates we'll see a lot more liveliness on the city as we go down by it as well. But this is kind of what we're working with. Looking pretty cool so far. Now if I'm playing this correctly, actually, we go ahead and grab both the carpentry. And then once we've got 500, the stonemason, we can actually upgrade the architectural building, which in turn will be great. So with these, you want them near your other production buildings. And I don't want to go too far that way. I'm going to start them over this way. So we're going to build wooden beams from here. They will need to travel from this bad boy to get to it. So we'll have it relatively close. Probably get another one over this way. And then stone related, once we've got enough, we'll put over this way as well. In terms of decoration, honestly, I think just to improve happiness, it's worth getting this bad boy in. And I can get the statue right here. That'll look pretty cool. Boom, let's build that sucker. Alright, it's time for the Via. See this? We could convert. Actually, it would make sense to go here. We could get 3 factions, all part of this. And we start with health once again. So we're going to leave safety, and we're going to go through. And I'm going to go to esteem. So we're doing that for the output of workers. Let's go. That should bring that one back up once it's in as well. And then we'll start to get some factions building around that. And we now have enough to unlock the stonemason. So I'll get one of those in a moment. And here we go. We have our first faction showing their face here. Heliotes is at the gate of your city. The Heliotes, I think is how you say it, are free citizens. They have no leader, but Theron represents them regularly. These workers are renowned for their expertise in agriculture and food production. They used to be able to feed the Spartan armies entirely, so there's no doubt they'll be able to feed our population just as well. If you accept them, they'll occupy an area in your city. On installation, we get summer gold coins. and plus 25 cultural influence. And then you have a trust level for each. We will accept them because that is our chapter mission. And then we need to go into chapter 7, which is to upgrade this bad boy. But there you go. We have our first one. So that district is purely production now. No one else can move in because we've accepted one in. All right, you'll see these two are now going into a negative. You actually have a negative impact now. And one of them being blueprint production. So we definitely want to get something in with creativity really soon. It is time for the stonemason. Now, stonemason, I am going to put right out here next to this one, and that'll build its own road. And I'm not sure whether to demolish this. We could do with these resources. I'm still going to leave it for now. Now, keep in mind, for each one you upgrade, it increases attraction area and radius of building as well. So it's important that we do get this one upgraded. We've almost got the beams to get it done. So I'm going to go ahead and speed through, wait for these to come in and get that done. Do you think in the meantime, yeah, it's ready. I can go ahead and get my cutting camps upgraded as well, which we'll want to do. So let's go ahead and get you done. And what's the improvement for you? People. I might not be able to do this, and we'll get that one upgraded as well. So we'll go for the center plus our wood income. And in turn, hopefully get more wooden beams. All right, here we go. You now have access to production buildings, artillery, and brickwork, and the Senatus. Cool. Senatus is where you can do decrees and make certain things happen in your settlement. Now, before any of that, we really need to get these in. And there's the Senatus. Honestly, I want the Macellum because that means I can start trading in resources. All right, the Horium does help with storage as well, though. I'll never forget in the last playthrough, I forgot to blink and do them. But there it is, the upgraded central piece there. Ancient city center. Looks very nice. It means you can now have better storage of everything at least anyway. Alright, as soon as I have 30 workers available from them moving in, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the architectural office as well. Just keeping an eye on food. It is still in a surplus, but we do need to be careful. We're going to need another farm really, really soon. And what do we have here? We have aggression. An assault has taken place in a small part of town. Fortunately, there is no faction. Oh, I'll read that in a moment. The threat of Macedonia won. An emissary brings you a letter from the King of Macedonia, who wishes to conquer territory in order to gain access to the Aegean Sea. He plans to lay siege to Amphipolis and the neighbouring Greek cities and sees you as a key ally. You have the necessary soldiers and the Greek cities have coveted resources, but weakening these cities in order to exploit them could be harmful in the long term. You could also seek political and religious support to moderate the king's ambitions. So we've got to make a choice then. Reinforce, seeking help, or defend. Honestly, I would go with probably you receive certain things. What is this? We could go religion and production as our main two. I like to pick two. Ludus Magnus. Let's go for seeking help. We can do with less gold anyway. And then this was what happened before. Satisfaction dropped by 10 points, but there's no people in there. Let's have a look. Which one's this? I'm not happy over here. Now, I'm going to save for the architectural building upgrade, like I was saying. Then we've got 2 more to come in. Ah, but you'd have to buy these with the blueprints. What do we gain? Extra per cycle. I'm going to try it because the aim of the game is to see how good your score will be. So I'm going to go with that one to get it upgraded. And hopefully that'll give us way more income because we're down a little bit, unfortunately, on those. And we need to fix these two as well. All right, the upgrade to the architectural building is done. So we now produce, well, it's saying 14. Are we in a minus? No, we're okay. All right, we're officially in the negative for food. So we're going to need to accept a new farm in. And honestly, I reckon I can fit it over here. They should build out this direction. So we'll get as many as we... Oh, do I want to waste that many workers? We could have a smaller one. Go for 8 because there's not a big space they can build in anyway. And that should keep our food good. And honestly, I'm thinking about demolishing these 3. Does look kind of cool going on to the housing, but it's fine. We got really great resources. We really need to get the thingy in because we can start selling some of our excess. What do we have here? A new epidemic. An epidemic spreads very quickly through a neighborhood. It can spread very quickly and our citizens will perish without the doctors being able to intervene. Increase citizen satisfaction to prevent further incidents. All right, what do we have here? The faction Heliolites has reached a new level of power. In doing so, it offers you the plan for a new building in its culture. Crusochioion. What the hell is that? I guess it unlocks in here. So if I come into culture, there it is. Look. Ah, nice. Not that I can grab you yet. We can actually afford that, but I'm saving specifically for these because we'll fix a lot of our issues once they come in. All right, threat of Macedonia 2. You sent emissaries to all influential communities to convince Macedonia to put an end to its expansionist intentions. The death of King Philip II has definitively sealed the non-aggression pact between Alexander the Great and the Greek rulers. Okay, we accept the gift. Thank you very much. Looks like disease has ended as well, and we're almost there now. We can do it. Service building. Now, question is, which one do we want first? They all give the same. I'm not going to go for that. It's going to be either Horium or Macellum, and it's going to be Macellum so we can make gold, I think. So we're going to get that one straight in, and I'm going to pause up. It's worth noting that this is going to be a new faction as well. The building is also humongous. So we can go over here. See, now that one's been locked. You can actually build the other buildings there, which I like, actually. I'm going to go right here. Boom. Right. I'm going to have to go for the two that are really bad right now, just to bring those back up. And that should bring them back into a good place. Yeah, I think that's smart. And what is this? The Mysterium is religious. Oh, okay. It's a small building. Costs quite a lot of resources, though. We're not making any of those at the moment. And then in the meantime, should we make sure we're upgrading where we can? Our only problem is workers. So workers, as you read that, only ever increase with inhabitants. So they're about a third of your total inhabitants. So unless this goes up, your worker number will never go up. When this comes in, though, that's going to be a big game changer. I can start to make some money. And there it is. Macellum is here. We fixed our issues, kind of. So you have to physically open the trade routes. Costs gold to unlock. There are some that are cheaper, so 300. We need to get a little bit more gold from tax in. And then we should be able to start buying and selling. And the good thing is you can usually, I think one of these, you'll be able to buy the tiles and stuff in, and it makes it a lot easier. So that's good. And now we'll just wait for the blueprints to go up, which should be pretty good. We should have good production now. 18 per cycle, that's much better. So as long as we keep this up, actually I think creativity being high early on would be good. But you'll see we'll have some new factions going around here, so I'm hoping to get some more in soon. Alright, I should be able to upgrade my stone now, so that'll expand, because there's only 300 left in, and that takes us up to 2,700 from that one. Obviously, we have this one that can be improved as well. So I'll go ahead and also improve these. We may as well spend the resources, right? And then we have this camp that we'll need 15 workers for. This is just whilst we're waiting for blueprints. We may as well increase what this can be, so we can make a lot of gold. Wow, when we get there. Gold's going to take a little while. There we go. We'll get that wood going as well. And there we go. The blueprints for our next service building are ready. And I'm going to go for the Horium. And we're going to get this one placed. So, what do we need? 150 clay. 19 workers. Okay. So, where was that clay that we found? Over here, there is a really good amount. So, if we come over here, we're going to put this one as clay. And then I should be able to get everything we need. Alright, cultural radiance. The news is spreading through the streets. Our city has increased its level of cultural radiance. Beautiful. Beautiful. Hey, there we go. We finally got another faction that has decided to come in. Expanding the territory. So, this is the new changes that I've been waiting for. Okay, so it becomes a stronghold. Like you have coveted district, then a district it owns, and then a stronghold. Okay. So the cycles spent in your city have enabled the faction to acquire a number of advantages. Increase population. So if we accept, we get +3 power, +10 trust, and more taxation. Okay. Of course I'm going to accept. You can have that one, so you can take over this. Because we need the income now anyway, so they've overhauled that. Very cool. Okay, and we've just unlocked something else. The faction of Heliolites has reached a new one. So we're unlocking the Agalma workshop as well. I'm going through the service buildings before we move on, by the way. But I should now be able to build the Horium. How much are we away? 96 clay. We're nearly there. And we now have the... this is good. So we now have the areas for generating small amounts of attraction, which is great. So if there's little areas we can slot them in, it should make our people a little bit happier. And I was thinking up here, if I'm honest. Looks like this one's not allowed to be in with the other buildings, though. You can't put this over the path, is what I'm seeing. In order to keep these happy, then, let's get one in there. It has changed significantly the way you have to approach it, then, which I like. That new faction thing is super cool. All right, we have enough for the Horium now. Now, this one is a different faction kind of related building. I believe it's productivity, so if I can get this over here, that would be perfect. Just blink and put that thing there. Here works really well. I wouldn't mind adapting it to the remaining ones, though. I think in here, so this will be like our stronghold area for it, I think. And we're not using these trees, so let's go over here. And we are going to continue to make sure we get these guys happy. So I think Steam, because they're in the red, we're going to have to go with those ones, unless we want to keep the blueprints going. Yeah, let's just do it. We'll keep them safe. And there it is, the Horium. So this thing is your storage-based thing. This just makes city management completely easier. So you can pause all cutting camps from here, for example, if I wanted to stop them cutting, if we don't need the resources, those types of things. It's quite handy. Same with blueprints. Tells you how many they're producing. Then you've got your foods here, how many they're producing. So if we wanted to, we could pause one of the farms, for example, to stop working. And I think you gain some of your workers back. Not actually sure. Yeah, 6 workers and 12 workers for the fields, so we could. Now, the key to this one is you don't want to go into the next age, even if you get to it, until you hit your 1,250 cycles, in my opinion, so you can get the most out of your build before going into it. We're already growing pretty big, though. Now, we're almost at our 1,000, so I'm just going to speed it up, and I need to decide what I'm going to unlock here. So I'm just going to let it hit it, and then I'm going to pause it up, and we're going to come in. Service buildings, or we could go into one of these. Now, it wants us to build the senators. I'm not bothered by that yet. The only reason I choose these over everything else is you actually get better options anyway early on. Now, the Monumentum is much cheaper. That one's only 500, though, for the senator. So let's grab that now, because we can get our production up. Oh, and a new faction. Hello. Merchants of the port of Tyre are at the gates of my city. They've recently arrived, led by the great Jezebel. Although our spies don't know their faction, the Phoenician city is renowned for its commercial activity. Alright, I am going to say yes to these because they're good for coin. So we're going to allow those in, and that will be a stronghold then area for this. So we gain extra coins per turn, which is going to be really important. And then we just need 300 clay and 30 builders. Now, how much clay are we producing? 5 per cycle. So I think I might need to upgrade it. Again, that's going to use all our workers again. I'm going to go ahead and pause my stone quarry for a moment just to gain back some of these so I can build the senators. This is actually what I did wrong. Now, I'm tempted to build this out of the way. Don't want it to interact with these districts, but this kind of can go up here. And we are going to go with belonging and creativity just to bring those up. Although they're into the yellow again. Creativity is our blueprints, which we actually can slow down now that we're not trying to rush those. Although safety I can leave for a moment, so thinking, because the steam is automatic on this one anyway, which is great. Let's go with those. That'll take us into the next one. We have 1,000 on the blueprint, so I can also get the Monumentum, which is ramparts, but this is going to be a military building, so we need to be careful. I think I want to just solidify these a tiny bit more first, so I'm going to come on in and get this one. Because the heliolites have good power, so we should be able to place that really soon. And I'm just looking here. I think we can go ahead and pause that one. And then what do we need? Just 3 more, and then we should be able to build this. And then we should be able to make this stronger over here. So I get right here. That will make these 2 factions good. And I do want to build them out this way as much as possible. So we're about to get in what we need over there. I think I'm going to go for creativity then. So we can keep the blueprints coming, actually, and get that unlocked a little bit more. All right, Senate office. Let's open the panel. So inside of here is the ancient politics. So the start of this one's you can, with our factions, we can choose certain things so they can vote on it. So if I pick one of these, it tells you the likelihood they are going to get for it. Obviously, we haven't got trading running at the moment, but certain things like this, it costs gold. At the moment, we're not going to run one because, quite frankly, I need my gold. Now, we do, however, have some better... We have a few more blueprints, and I think getting these to the next level... What is it to upgrade the architectural office? So that's going to be brick and tiles. We're going to need to start making these at some point. So go ahead and unlock the brick works. I think we're doing all right, by the way. Just want to point that out. I reckon I could probably get away with... Tempted to upgrade and then pause one of these. All right, so this converts clay into bricks. Now, we're getting clay from over here, so we definitely want our production buildings to be out this way. And I'm going to go right there. So I did pause up the stonemasons to get that one. And then the next one will be the tilery. And in order to upgrade our ancient city centre, I'm not going to do this yet, by the way. We do need tiles. So that would probably be the better option. Just reduce this farm. I didn't even realise this is a thing. You can go field management. I've reduced it to 10. And if you look here, they're going to go ahead and destroy these two. So hopefully I can get some housing closer to this. And we are building around this curtain camp, so part of me wants to destroy this, actually. Which I think, problem is, it costs coin. That's why I wasted my coin on last time, the demolishing. We're almost there for our trade, so I'm just going to hold fire. Alright, they've reached a new milestone as well. Total price of this decree will be reduced by 50. Right, request from a faction. Promote the decree. External recruitments. Right, these types of things are all new, so we're going to come in. External recruitments. Ah, it shows up as well. So, what is it? Increase migration by 1, costs 5 gold per cycle. I'm going to do this for 20 cycles. I'm not going to do it for very long. Costs 50 coins to unlock, but I'm going to do it because it makes happy. Shouldn't have spent all my coin. So what they'll do is quickly vote on that now as well, but I also have enough to unlock the tiles. So we're going to go ahead and grab the tilery, and we're going to go ahead and get one of those in as well. I believe this, hold on, converts sand into thingy, so we're good. If I pop this over here as well, we'll have both. Although, actually, I want this away from the sand area. So I can squeeze it in there just fine. All right. Decree accepted. Only one faction against it. All right. Order a wonder. Oh, God. Can't do wonders yet. I'll just show you these, by the way. We don't have them yet. We need one of the factions up to 40%. So, actually, you want to get all factions up based on the changes now to get all wonders in. That's interesting. Now, just as a quick thingy here, we're very happy across the board. Well, I say very happy. We're in a good point where we're getting plus, apart from safety, but I'm okay with that. Migration isn't too much of a problem as long as I go through pausing and unpausing certain buildings. And the main thing I need to be concerned with is just keeping up on unlocking the cultural buildings and stuff. All right, we have a natural income here now. I didn't quite realize. I probably should have read. But Degala, for us completing Macedonia one, gave us this trade route, so we can make some coins. So we're going to be selling some of our clay here, and you'll see how many we can gain just to get enough to unlock the next trade route. So I am going to sell off some of our clay and some of our bricks, because this is going to gain us quite a few coins. I know we need them, but I'm going to get rid of some just for now. And I'm going to sell 40 bricks, I think. They've got a good enough amount of gold for us to do it. I'll keep a little bit of clay, but we'll make 400 here. And then that will mean once we've got those coins instantly, I can unlock the next trade route. And it's important to do because you get passive income. You see this? So that's a 3 gold passive income for our trade routes as well. And this one's really good because we can buy in quite a few different things. And they all come with different values on the trade as well. So really good. Gold should be going much quicker now. All right, our food is now officially in a negative. So we're going to have to upgrade one of our farms. And I'm going to go with the smaller one over here first. And that should be absolutely fine. We've got enough to keep stored so they won't go hungry in the meantime as well. And with that one done, I'm going to go ahead and pause it up. And we are going to come into here. And I'm going to say thank you so much for being here, guys. As always, hit that thumbs up. Please do consider subscribing to the channel. It's a massive help. And as always, if you want to support me that little bit extra, check out Patreon. Subscriptions down below. And the Discord and all that thing where we talk rubbish in there about each game. Hope you've enjoyed it so far. Let me know your thoughts if you haven't seen it before. And as always, I hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.